Okay, think about the AI you use every day. You know, the chatbot that answers your questions, or the tool that whips up an image for you. Now, what if that AI didn't just wait for your next command? What if it could take a goal you give it and just run with it all on its own? Well, that's the massive leap to agentic AI, and let me tell you, it's poised to change just about everything. Let's break down how.
So to really get this, let's draw a super clear line in the sand. On one side, you got the generative AI we all know and use, like ChatGPT. It's incredible, right? It's a tool that talks, but it's reactive. You give it a prompt, it gives you a response. It waits for you. But on the other side of that line is agentic AI. It does. It's proactive. It takes a goal and works towards it step by step long after you've moved on to other things. This is the big shift. We're going from a brilliant tool we command to a digital teammate we collaborate with.
And yeah, that exact shift from talking to doing, that's really the heart of our whole conversation today. So first up, we're going to move way beyond the idea of a simple chatbot and really dig into what it means for an AI to start taking real, meaningful action. So if this new kind of AI is really our digital teammate, what does that actually look like? What does that mean? Let's nail down a really clear definition of what an agent is and what makes it so different from everything that's come before.
Here we go. At its core, an agentic AI is an autonomous system, and the magic words you need to remember are perceives, decides, and acts. See, this isn't just about spotting a pattern and spitting out a result. It's about looking at a situation, figuring out a plan, and then, and this is the key part, actually executing that plan to hit a goal, all with way less handholding from us humans. You know, this simple progression really puts our entire relationship with computers into perspective. We started with the calculator, a basic tool that only works when you ask it to. Then we got the co-pilot, right? An assistant that helps us out while we're working. But now we're arriving at the teammate, an independent partner that can take the initiative to help us crush a shared goal. And of course, this giant leap didn't just happen overnight. You can see a clear story of evolution here. We kicked things off in phase 1 with super rigid, rule-based systems. You know, if this, then that. Then came phase 2, machine learning, which could finally learn from data. Phase 3 is the world we're living in right now, with generative AI. And that brings us to today, the dawn of phase 4, agentic AI, where the system isn't just generating content anymore, it's actively solving problems. Okay, so these agents can proactively solve complex problems. But how? How in the world does an AI go from a single sentence prompt to a fully finished multi-step project? Let's pop the hood and see what's really going on inside.
So for an agent to actually work its magic, it needs a specific set of skills. Think of these as its secret sauce. It needs autonomy to work on its own, reasoning and planning to break a huge goal down into tiny, manageable steps, the ability to use tools like searching the web or using other software, a memory, so it can learn from what worked and what didn't, and finally, adaptability, so it can change its plan when things inevitably go wrong.
All those capabilities come together in this constant cycle that's called the reason-act loop. It's pretty simple when you break it down. First, it perceives the goal. Then, it reasons about the best possible next step. Then, it takes that action. And then, and this is so crucial, it reflects. It asks itself, did that work? Based on that answer, it refines its strategy and starts the whole loop over again, getting a little bit closer to the finish line with every single cycle. All right, enough with the theory. This stuff isn't just science fiction anymore. These agents are already out there in the wild, doing real work. So let's look at a few examples of where you can actually see this tech in action right now. First up, software development. Agents like Dev and AI are being built to be these autonomous engineers. You don't just ask it for a little piece of code. No, you give it an entire project, and it can write the code, find and fix the bugs, test the whole thing, and even deploy it. It's pretty wild. Or think about the business world. An agent could manage an entire marketing campaign. It could analyze the data, move the budget around, and write new ads, optimizing everything for you, all while you sleep. The potential for science is just staggering. Imagine an AI research assistant that's tasked with reading every single paper ever published on a topic, summarizing all the findings, and then proposing brand new hypotheses for human scientists to test. I mean, this could accelerate innovation at a speed we've never even dreamed of. And it's not just stuck in the digital world. Out in the physical world, an agent could act as a rescue coordinator, controlling a whole fleet of drones and robots to autonomously search a disaster zone, saving precious time when it matters most.
Now look, any technology this powerful is a double-edged sword. It comes with incredible promise, for sure, but also some really significant risks that we have to confront head-on. So let's take an honest look at both sides of this coin.
On the promise side, the potential is just immense. We're talking about a massive boost in efficiency, automating really complex workflows. We could scale up our operations with whole teams of collaborating AI agents. We could accelerate scientific breakthroughs. And, of course, you unlock 24/7 productivity. These teammates don't need coffee breaks.
But then you flip that coin over, and the perils are just as real. These agents can still hallucinate. They can make up facts, which could be catastrophic in critical fields. The security risk is huge. I mean, what happens when someone builds an autonomous hacking agent? And this brings up some deep ethical questions. If an agent makes a critical mistake, who's responsible? And just on a practical level, all of this requires a truly staggering amount of computing power. So how do we move forward? How do we balance that incredible promise against such serious peril? Where is all of this technology heading? Let's take a look toward the next intelligence frontier.
So as we wrap this up, it's crystal clear we're not just talking about a better chatbot or a smarter app. This is a fundamental change in our relationship with technology. The move from a simple tool to a potential digital teammate is a true paradigm shift, and it's one that is going to redefine how we work, create, and solve problems. Which all leads us to the one ultimate question that's really going to define the next decade. Is this technology the peak of a supportive assistant? Or is this the actual evolutionary path toward artificial general intelligence, an AI that can learn and perform any intellectual task that a human